Welcome back to another video, everybody. Today we're talking about Mulan, another one I don't seem to own, but Disney Plus, of course, you can go watch it. It's directed by Tony Bancroft and Barry Cook. Those are new names, quite interesting. This week all we've really seen is returning directors from past performances or new directors that come back into play throughout the week. Nope, not these guys. It's from 1998 and family adventure sort of musical, but we'll get to that. Stars Ming-Na Wen of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as Fa Mulan. Eddie Murphy, who, if you follow my Instagram, we last saw as Donkey in Shrek. In this, he is, of course, Mushu. B.D. Wong, who we're going to see quite a bit more of once we get to Jurassic Park. He plays Li Shang. Harvey Fierstein, another actor we'll see quite a few more of when we get to Mrs. Doubtfire and a few others, I believe. He plays Yao. Miguel Freire as Shan Yu. We're probably not going to see much of him. He's more of a television actor than anything else. Pat Morita as the Emperor of China. James Hong as Shifu. Matthew Wilder as Ling. June Foray as Grandmother Fa. And George Takei as First Ancestor Fa. I haven't decided if we're gonna do any Star Trek things. I'm not a Star Trek person. I tried watching the original show, and after like the first episode, I did not get into it. So I don't know if we'll see more of George Takei. Or George Takai, however you want to pronounce it. I say Takei. I know a lot of people pronounce it Takai, and you'll correct me if you feel necessary. The film has an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, and off of a budget of $90 million, it made $304.3 million at the box office. So, not the highest grossing of the Disney Renaissance era, but certainly not the lowest. I believe that position is still held by Hunchback. It's another Disney classic, of course. The themes aren't hard to pick up on this either. Honor, family, and sexuality, those are the big three. Mulan isn't the best at the whole bringing honor to her family. It tends to defy traditions. It's a coming-of-age story, really, more than anything else. As I said, she's more interested in defying what her family wants of her. It's to bring honor, be the perfect wife, and it's not who she is. She's a free spirit. So what does she do? She dresses as a man and goes to war for her father. This movie is most likely the most action-packed of the Disney Renaissance, and I enjoyed the final battle since there actually is one, and one worth talking about. They kill Shan Yu at the end with fireworks, which is creative. I've never seen that before, so I'm fairly certain I can say that's the first time I've seen that happen. Halfway through, the Army of China is singing a song, A Girl Worth Fighting For. And, they're singing this as they're marching to war. The song abruptly ends once they reach the warpath that the Huns have caused. And they just see their entire army that they were going to go reinforce is dead. Shang Li's father, he's dead. It's quite a depressing scene, to be perfectly honest with you. And what I like, though, is that the Huns are the first Disney villains to not get a song either sang about them or for them to sing about themselves. This shows that they're more realistic than Hades or Scar or even Gaston. The Huns are more realistic villains, not only because they're pulled straight from our real-world history, but because they're warmongers. And warmongers don't mess around. They just left a mess, which is a hard thing for the soldiers to fall upon. Now, more logistical stuff. The acting is great, and there isn't even a single character I can really complain about. Even the communicator, whatever his name was, the guy writing the reports, yeah, he's annoying, but his character's there to be a sort of secondary antagonist, and he does it well while still being on the side of good. I enjoyed the songs, even though there's about half of the amount of songs that would be in a normal Disney musical. And of course, Make a Man Out of You is indisputably the best of the whole series. But A Girl Worth Fighting For is good, and so is Reflections. I fairly remember thinking to myself that Reflections is probably the best solo performance for any of the Disney princesses, which is something else. Mulan is not your standard Disney princess. She's not born into royalty. She isn't married into royalty. She's just a badass. So they made her Disney princess. Because it gives young girls something positive to look forward to, look up to. Which is crazy that Disney would change its rules for that. I mean, not that I'm complaining. I mean, Mulan is definitely the best of the Disney princesses, but you know, I can say that I enjoy this movie, and it's definitely in my top 5. The themes of sexuality, I think for 1998, people weren't ready to talk about transgenders and stuff. And I don't know entirely, obviously, what the remake was going to do. I know there was a whole bunch of changes they made. They were not doing songs. They were not doing, I believe Mushu wasn't even in the movie. And he is probably the funniest character in the whole movie. I enjoy every scene that Mushu is in. So it's very confusing to think about a Mulan film that wouldn't have Mushu. But I have to say, I was excited to see the new remake that they're making. But I guess we gotta wait till June 24th for that. So I am going to give this a 10 out of 10 and a Silver Shamrock. I highly recommend this movie for anyone who somehow hasn't seen it. The animation holds up, in my opinion. It's not a jarring difference between The Lion King and the way like the animation style was for The Hunchback of Notre Dame between The Lion King and that movie. This kind of feels like it fits in with the Disney Renaissance and doesn't fit in with those direct-to-video sequels that a lot of these movies got, which I will cover a couple months from now. I'll probably do another Disney week, but it'll all be direct-to-video sequels, probably mostly for these films. So you'll see Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. You'll see Mulan 2, Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. I might save Beauty and the Beast: The Enchanted Christmas until Christmas time. And I'm not gonna cover Belle's Magical World. That just does not sound like a good time. I put it on for my niece a few days ago and was disgusted by the animation quality. And if you're making an animated movie, as we've talked about, you want the animation quality to not make your audience cringe, and that's what that one does. So I've actually never seen Mulan 2, so I can't say how I actually feel about it. Oh, hello, cat. Just push my door open. I can't say how I feel about that movie because I've never actually sat down and watched it. I think I've watched the first 2 minutes and then fell asleep. Yeah, no. If you fall asleep, it might be that bad, but then again, I could have been exhausted. But I do recommend this movie. And that's not to say that this movie focuses mainly on that little sexuality bit. It mostly focuses on honor and family, but the themes of sexuality and kind of the the bits of transgender rights and, you know, the other thing is just gender rights in general in feudal China. Where is it? I know I have it in here somewhere. Maybe I took it out? Huh. I thought I put this in there. We'll talk about it anyway. In feudal China, women have no rights. They're just there to become wives and raise families. So that's where this whole honor and traditions and family comes into play, is that Mulan's job is to uphold that tradition of, hey, you are a female in this family, this is what your job is. She don't like that, and I get it. She's not a whole, how do I put this? She's not interested in doing that. She wants to go out. She wants to have adventures. So she's trying for her family more than for herself to uphold these traditions by just going to see the matchmaker and doing all this stuff. And she doesn't want to do that. She's less than interested in that. But because in feudal China, the women have no rights, that's kind of why she has to do it that way. It's unfortunate, of course, but it still makes for one of the best Disney movies made. Definitely in my top 5. I can't say where, though, until I sit down and do that top 5 or top 10 list sometime today, maybe, since it's Mother's Day. Probably can't. But there won't be a video for that probably till later on this week. And for tonight, I'm going to try and get a video for Toy Story out for you guys. Just because I want to make sure my list kind of makes sense. If you follow my Instagram, I put that Sunday is Toy Story. It is when I was still doing Instagram, and now I'm just doing YouTube, so we're gonna try and keep it in there, and then maybe I can do watch like Toy Story 2 tonight, and then everything can start to fall in place. It makes sense in my mind, hopefully. But if you know anything about me, you know I'm very inconsistent and very indecisive. So here's to hoping I can figure this whole thing out. And definitely go check out Mulan. And honestly, I know a lot of people weren't excited to go see the newest one, or the live action remake, but I was, and I probably still will go see it on June 24th, as long as movie theaters are open on June 24th. Because there's still a lot of things that I want to see. I want to see Wonder Woman 84. Halloween Kills comes out October 16th. I want to go see that. Trying to think of what else is coming out this year. Black Widow is now in the Eternals release date, so the Eternals got pushed back to Shang-Chi's release date, so I guess the Eternals are now coming out in 2021 versus 2020. I gotta say that sucks, man. And my opinion is this: if you're putting Artemis Fowl straight to Disney Plus, I think it was like June 15th when I looked it up, you can go right ahead and just put Black Widow and Mulan. I forgot what movie we were talking about for a second. You can go right ahead and just put those on Disney Plus. Maybe have people pay extra if they want to watch it, make them rent it. You could still make your money that way. I think there's so many people out there that want to see that Black Widow movie that will go ahead and watch it. But I would, and I know one of my friends would. But that's just kind of, I mean, if you're willing to take the blow from Artemis Fowl, which has a bigger following than you might expect because of the books. I've never read the books. I think I actually only ever read one, and that was for a summer reading project from like 7th grade, so I don't remember a thing from it. And when they said they were making it, I was like, ooh, I'll go watch that. And now I can say, ooh, I'll watch that for free on Disney Plus because I pay $6 a month for it. Or $7 a month, whatever it is. So now you just gave me that for free? Okay. Alright. Disney doesn't make sense. But I believe from an article I was reading, they may just pave this forward after Artemis Fowl with the success of like Onward, and if Artemis Fowl starts to get a huge watch, it may pave the way for future releases to go straight to Disney Plus. That'd be nice to see. But I was really looking forward to Mulan, and I'm kind of upset I can't go see it. I was actually going to compare Mulan 1998 to Mulan 2020, but it is what it is. So, until I talk about Toy Story, I'm Luke, and I'll see you guys later.